You need to go to a con, you've never gone, you have social anxiety when talking to people face to face, so it's more of, I scrolled and always I tell myself, think I'm gonna go kind of thing, and then chicken out. Just go. I mean, just go forehead. Like, I actually mean it like that. If you put yourself there, you'll have no choice but to exist there. Right? You're probably being change averse. It's not just social anxiety, but it's likely the anxiety as well on top of that of doing something that you're not currently doing. It's much easier to stay home because I'm already home. It's easier to stay out because I'm already out, right? So try and get a friend to go, or an acquaintance, whatever, a family member, doesn't matter. Plan it with someone else. That way it's harder for yourself to back out. I would recommend that. You were never a con, Andy, but you went and they were a lot of fun. Yeah, I've been to a few way back in the day, but I felt like once you had been to a couple, I had seen them all, so I didn't really feel the need to go back or, you know, go to more or anything. Lots of people at cons are nervous too. I mean, the people that like things like gaming and anime and whatever, it's a crowd that's selected from a group of people that are just on average more anxious, more shy, whatever. So you're not going to a place filled with people you see at the grocery store. You're going to a place filled with people that don't go outside to the grocery store because they're anxious on average. So I think it's worth trying. What if we fear people in general? Well, then you're learn to not. Okay, a lot of people say this thing nowadays. I'm gonna be boomer. This is a boomer conversation for a second. This is something I mean wholeheartedly. A lot of the current generations and younger folks are like, I have social anxiety, so I can't go out. Do you know why a lot of older people did not have social anxiety? Why almost none of them did? Not that they didn't have a level of it, but they could all get themselves to just go out at the end of the day because they had to, because they experienced it. Because they didn't have the internet, because their jobs were not remote, they had to. And it is literally a skill. I see it as building a skill, being able to go outside without feeling anxious. It is a familiarity thing you build up, right? That's really all it is. So I think people shouldn't say the term social anxiety and think in their head this is some special thing or a condition or a, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that. Not everyone means it when they say it like that, but make sure it's not that in your head. It is, yeah, it's literally a skill issue. You have not built up the skill of being able to go outside without feeling anxious. A lot of anxiety is just the brain building this because it's new. So just do it so it's not new anymore. That is it. Yeah, not properly socialized. That's literally what it is. You were not properly socialized. And when you're an adult, you have to socialize yourself. You have no choice. You have to socialize yourself or you will never be socialized. That's it. Those are your two choices, right? And no matter what makes you, people will start making excuses too, and they'll be like, well, I'm socially anxious because, and they start listing a lot of things about them. And I'm like, I don't care. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Yeah, you said you're literally autistic, learn better people skills just by working retail. Still not perfect, but as a whole lot better than when you were a kid. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people with a lot of different conditions, a lot of different things going on can all get better at it. So go get better at it. Like, go out and do it and treat it as learning a skill, right? Exposure therapy a little bit, but don't even call it exposure therapy because it's not that deep, right? Your job helped you a lot with being more comfortable talking to people. Yeah. I never had issues with public speaking or social anxiety or those things because I worked since I was like 12. And I had to talk to customers and help people with things and figure out things that I didn't even know by looking it up. And, you know, like, I just had to do a lot of stuff and interact with a lot of people. And then I would always have people my own age being like, how do you do that? And I'd be like, by doing it. What? The same way you learn anything else. You just do it and you'll get better at it. You have to suck at it and then you don't suck. That's it. But I don't know. People don't like doing things that make them uncomfortable, as anyone would, to the extent where they just don't even try. And that's, you know, that's weak, man. I'm sorry. If you do that, you're being weak. Stop it. Don't let yourself be weak. Don't be too easy on yourself. Like, you have to be hard on yourself if you want to get out of it like that. No one's gonna hold your hand and be like, I'll bring you to this convention so you don't feel anxious. You might find some people that do that, but if they do that, they're babying you and they're not helping you. You know, they're helping you short term, but not long term. It just doesn't work for everyone. What I'm suggesting, or like the getting your hand held through it thing. I think we shouldn't focus on the few outliers where it won't work for them. Because when I say there are few outliers, I mean they're very few. But yeah, that's like, we need to not have discussions like this and then point out tiny outliers, because we all know that outliers exist in every case, right? We all know this. We're generalizing. But I will say, vast majority of people simply have to just go out more and talk to people more and put themselves out there. And it's not just going outside outside and being like, wow, I went to the grocery store and I felt anxious, and then going home. That's not really helping you. It's getting yourself to talk to people, right? Like, there's a difference between practicing something and just going through the motions and practicing something and mindfully trying to do better in it, right? Same as when you're doing a sport. You have to think about how to move certain muscles. If you're not really thinking and you're just doing the thing over and over, you're just reinforcing bad practice, right? Same thing with social stuff. You just go out to the store and buy things quietly and go home, be like, yeah, I put time in going out. I'm getting better at it. No, you're not, right? Like it's a drop in the pond kind of thing. You have to actually think about it. Try to make conversation with some random person, stuff like that, right? That's the stuff you got to worry about. And it's just mindful practice. That's all it is. Yeah, Omega, you're that's what I'm saying. You're like a super outlier case in that kind of way. So yeah, it won't work for everyone, but it's such a small fraction of people that like literally can't, you know? And for the majority of people, when I give advice like this, like I'm talking to the, you know, the 98% of people. And I mean, there are situations like that, but then, you know, there are people who will not even try to access those services and just be like, I can't do it, right? So like, you just have to try and do the best with what you got, for sure. And everyone can do a little better on those things, for sure. Even if you can't be perfect. You can get yourself to talk to randos even at social events. It's hard. You do the how's the weather kind of thing. Or don't ask a question, you make a statement. You're sitting somewhere, you're at a public event, there's music being played. If you turn to someone and they turn and look at you, you lock eyes, you be like, it's really good, and then look away. You don't have to continue that conversation. Just be like, it's great. And then like not continue. You know what I mean? Doing little things like that is how you kind of get your feedback. And maybe that person will keep talking to you. Maybe they'll be like, all right, weirdo. And they won't say anything else. Both are fine. Both are all right. You have more trouble with people you know somewhat than randos. Right. I feel that way. Like, it's easier to put some random person that you're never going to see again out of sight, out of mind. Then if you know them a little bit and you might see them again, there is the pressure of, you know, if I misstep here or if they think I'm weird, I have to deal with them again, potentially. Right? That kind of stuff. I think that's what gets to people more than anything, because the perception is what you know, what bothers them. And perception long term versus short term, you know, very different on how much you can you know, worry about that. You've had many people answer, but it's hard to keep it going. Nah, I get it. Plus, want people to be more accepting of others. Yeah, there are a lot of people that'll just look away, right? You'll sit there and you'll be like, oh, music's great, man, and they'll just look and look away. That's a them problem. But if you do the same thing, you're just contributing to that. So just be nicer. A lot of people you encounter randomly are going to be just as, if not more, anxious than you are. Oh yeah. I think that's especially the case if you, like, a lot of people here were saying they want to try going to cons and stuff. You would end up meeting so many people that are horrifically anxious and they're trying their best to appear normal. That's just going to be what's around you. And they might not look like that. If you talk to them, they might be maybe a little dismissive, right? And you'll be like, hey, what's up? And they'll be like, hey. And you might be like, damn, they had a little aura. They just said, hey, and nothing else. But realistically, they're like, oh God, I don't know what to say. I said, hey, is that enough? Is that okay? You know, they're like freaking out. They're doing that in their head. So, you know, it's the same. It's the same for everyone.
Don't worry, GEEGA. I'll make sure to use this advice at your next meet and greet. I'll say hey and then look away awkwardly.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. The Geegoids meetup. Everyone says hey at the same time and then looks in a different direction. Perfect.